how far can you go for ambition?
I can go really far, but the time in my life at that point, I was 23 when I started off. You are a little brash. I mean, every actor at some point of time is going to retire.
Sure.
What happens then?
Yeah.
How are you going to take that situation? I don't know how I'm going to take it.
Also, have there been, Emraan, these moments of envy that is sort of engulfed?
Oh, all the time. And I probably would have done a better job, and that was a shit job that he did.
So you're okay with an audience coming up to you and telling you, Emraan, I really didn't like what you last did?
I might not like it.
Yeah.
But then when I came on a film set, I'm like, this is really boring. I did a film which was not very successful at that time, which was Awarapan.
I love Awarapan.
Which was, it wasn't successful, but now it's become one of the most successful film. I met her a couple of times after the release of Murder. We were young, we were stupid at that time.
Hi Emraan, welcome
Hi.
to News 18.
Thank you.
How are you?
Very good, how are you doing?
All good, all good. And thank you for doing this because we know you're not really out there, but it's good to see you.
Yeah, well, I generally go out there when my shows and films are releasing, but yeah, generally I don't like to be plastered everywhere. I don't do too many interviews unless it's my film or my show.
Absolutely.
And that's from my beginning of my career. That's something that I followed.
Great.
So,
you stuck by what you had decided.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes,
That's great. So, the second part of Showtime is just around the corner.
Yes.
And what has been the response like, Emraan?
You tell me.
For the first one?
I don't know. Have you seen it? Do you like it?
I did. But I'm talking about the first part. How has been the response like?
I got really positive feedback for the first 4 episodes, and what people reacted to was the fact that it was this breezy, entertaining, fun take on our industry. A lot of truths about our industry that we have sprinkled in a very, very interesting way. The writers have done it. They would obviously, I would want to give credit to them for that. And some really interesting characters. The quintessential, I would say, stereotypical kind of ways that producers are sometimes.
Yes.
I think Rahu Khanna is a slightly heightened version of that.
Yeah.
Even Armaan is a slightly heightened version of an actor, of a star. The idiosyncrasies of these people in an industry where things are so fickle, things are so fleeting. There's no permanence of success and failure here, and stocks go up and down in our industry, and relationships also are very fleeting and transient.
Sure.
So it shows all of that in an extremely entertaining show, and that's what people reacted to.
Yeah.
They had a lot of fun seeing the 4 episodes.
Right. Actually, I was just coming to that a lot of people felt like it sort of re-cements the stereotypes and sort of is caricaturish in a way. So that was, you are saying that was a conscious call.
That was the tonality of the show. It's a show that we wanted people to come in and binge watch it. It is by no means a slow burn show. It's pacey. It grabs you into this world. It's got that sheen and that packaging and the glitz of the industry on face value. But what it truly is, at the heart of it, is about these people, their ambitions in our industry, the fiery ambitions to be successful, how far they can go to kind of achieve those things, what are the hurdles that they have to face. It's all about that.
Yeah, but how far can you go for ambition?
I can go really far, but I think from what I differ from my character of Raghu. I think Rahu Khanna is a little too, he gets a little unethical also in his ways.
Yes.
I would never hurt someone to further my ambitions. I think for me, my rules have been very clear. Work hard and luck will favor you. And, I've always had this ambitious drive. I've had my own way of doing things. Might be very different from the way other actors do it. But there's always this, this urge to kind of do good work. To do good stuff for the fans and kind of entertain them, and just dabble with different characters and just stretch my just see where that creative thirst and that hunger takes me, and it should never be satiated. Actors and any creative person should be very not satisfied with the process. You should always yearn for more, to learn more, and to get to a higher point in your career.
Absolutely. But I'll be very honest with you. I derived this very silent joy when Armaan said a no to Raghu. And went to Mahima's character.
I'm guessing. Because I guess also the fact that the guy is so cocky about what he wants, and he's so condescending of this woman who's been put on this seat to take care of this company, where he feels that she doesn't have the credentials or the merit, and he's right in his own way, but then he is like, you know, it's no one but him. But it, let's face it, there are a lot of people. There should be place for a lot of people in the industry to kind of thrive. But for Raghu Khanna, it's only him. Yeah. He should be the only one who's thriving in his narrative, which is, that's his
quite
way.
A narcissist.
That's where, he's a huge narcissist.
Yeah. But that also, I think, makes him human.
Yeah.
You know, you spoke about Raghu Khanna being this cocky, bratty person. Emraan, you know, in the beginning of your career, for a lot of people had this perception that, you know, he comes across, you know, as a cocky person. Yeah. Have you heard that a lot?
Yeah, I think it also it has a lot to do with the time in my life. At that point, I was 23 when I started off. You are a little brash. You have this idea of a certain invincibility. And you're just young and I was a little young. I was bratty at that time. I think with time, with age, with a certain maturity, you start learning more and you evolve and you change, like it should be with people. I guess I got that. I got that a lot from people.
Yeah. But much like Raghu Khanna, were you ever, because I have a feeling now you are not, but were you ever insecure of your contemporary successes?
I was never insecure about their successes. I think insecurity is a huge part in our business. It's a huge part and parcel of, because, there are some things that are in your control, but there's so many things, there's so many dynamics that are not in your control. There's that factor of luck that you can't put your finger on. You don't know when luck is going to favor you. You might make a film with the best of intentions. It could be a great film. Yeah. But there's always a little bit of factor of the time it's releasing, how the audience will accept it. Probably when you started making the film, the tastes of the audience were pointing to that. By the time you release the film, the taste changed completely to something else. Insecurity is a huge part because, the Friday, like I said, your stock always is kind of going up and down over here. So there's an insecurity about that. I don't know if there's an insecurity about anonymity. Maybe there's a bit of that also. When you taste success, when you get recognition, you get so used to it that you yearn for it throughout your life. Right. I know there's no permanence throughout your life. Like there's no permanence to anything.
You want it to stay
at some point, it will get over. The arc lights will dim one day, but you try to extend that duration for as long as you can.
Are you okay with the arc lights dimming? Like, have you thought about that day? We hope it doesn't.
I don't think about it. It's a scary thought.
It is.
It's a scary thought. Because if you've been in the industry for so long, and it's so deeply entrenched in your being, of being on a film set, doing films, getting that adulation for your work, it becomes a very big part of your identity.
Yeah.
So what happens at some point in the distant future, when probably, some actor, every actor at some point of time is going to retire.
Sure.
What happens then? Yeah. How are you going to take that situation? I don't know how I'm going to take it. Right now I'm just enjoying the process. I love acting. I'm very passionate about it. But I've never really thought about things like 10 years from now, 5 years or 30 years from now.
Yeah.
I try to live in the moment and try to make the best of it. So we don't know what the future holds. Yeah. So we just do the best in this present moment.
Also, have there been, Emraan, these moments of envy that is sort of engulfed?
Oh, all the time. All the time.
BB?
Yeah, of course. I'm probably envious of a lot of people, right? And I think that's part and parcel of any industry. There's always a perception of yourself, and there's always someone that you feel is better than you.
Yeah.
Let's face it. And it's got a lot to do with your temperament, the kind of person that you are, and you always feel that everyone lacks somewhere in certain areas, and they feel someone might have something better than you. Okay. And there's always that element. I don't know if you call it envy or what is the right word for it. But there's always that feeling of you lack somewhere and you try to kind of make up for that. And you work on your strengths and try to fill in those gaps, so to speak. But yeah, in your head, there's always that battle that, okay, that actor, and also I think that, okay, he got that role, I deserved it.
Yeah.
And I probably would have done a better job, and that was a shit job that he did. There's always that feeling, there's always that narcissistic side of you that feels that you could have done it better and you deserved it.
Right.
But ultimately, everyone's deserving of what they get.
Absolutely.
And everyone makes do with what they have. But yeah, there's always that ego.
Also, I think fate also plays a big role, right?
Yeah. I mean, luck, fate, destiny, right place at the right time. Lot of things, genetics. Genetics play a huge thing in it. The card the hand that you are dealt in life, that is your starting point.
Yeah.
Like for example, the whole discussion of nepotism. Nepotism is a hand that's dealt to you, right? The cards that are dealt to you are in your favor, right? What you do with that is entirely up to you. But also there's something that's not in your hands. The audience acceptability. It's a very democratic industry. Ultimately, the audience is king. Absolutely. You might get an entry point in the industry. There, the place, your family, the genetics, everything favors you. But what if the audience boos you out? Then what values does that nepotism have? And people say that, okay, nepotism and there's so many great things in that. But a lot of things that are not in your control, even though you might get like an easy entry into a place.
Right. Now I know, both parties are to be blamed here, the production side and the media. But then Showtime, the first episode, it begins with this fact that how a producer sends an iPhone, to this journalist, just so that, they can get a glowing review from them.
Yes.
Have you ever been on a film set where you have seen this happening?
That someone has sent something?
Yeah, like, kuch bhi. Like, it's like a give and take, right?
I don't think I've been in a particular situation where someone has actually sent someone for a particular review.
Okay.
I have heard of it. I have not seen it up close, but I've heard that there's always this thing about maintaining a certain PR with certain people and being their good books to get that out of them. But I've not seen it personally. I have not.
Okay.
No.
There's also this perception about actors specifically, about how they like being surrounded by yes men.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about that?
Oh, there are many like that.
Do you think it's a way to seek validation, or is there something else there?
It's a bit of a power trip. It is also a certain kind of create that, I don't know, they just want people to fuel in that they are right. And they, the thing is, with success, that is one of the trappings. I mean, there's one way you can go. You can have that, there are actors who come with that coterie of people where they all are feeding off that one actor because everyone's livelihoods are dependent on that.
Right.
And no one's going to question that actor, even if they think that he's full of and he's doing something wrong.
That's true.
They're not going to question it because it could cost them their job.
Yeah.
Right? And there's some actors who probably don't want that. They don't want that yes man because they know there's a certain artifice in that. There's a certain fakeness in that, There's no truth in that.
Yeah.
They know what that's worth. So there are two kinds of actors, they're two very different. And, I believe I come from the latter.
Yeah.
I don't surround myself with a certain quotient people who... I actually run away from that. When I get someone who's a yes man, I wouldn't want to touch that person with a barge pole because I try to keep a very realistic, at least surround myself with people who are honest with me.
Right.
I think therein lies your growth.
Yeah.
I think yes men can really pull you down.
Yeah.
Because, it's all about, sometimes you need someone to tell you where the faults lie so you can correct them and rise above that and course correct. How will you course correct if everyone is telling you that everything you're doing is right?
Yeah.
There's no way of course correcting.
So you're okay with an audience coming up to you and telling you, Emraan, I really didn't like what you last did.
I might not like it.
Yeah.
I might not like it because actors only want praises. I also, as an actor, only want praise. I might, at that face value, but I would at least appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I would want to know what they didn't like about it. That's why I always ask someone first, that tell me, give me the criticism first.
Yeah.
Don't give me the praise, because I want to know where did I go wrong, or where did a particular film go wrong.
Yeah.
Then you can shower me with praises, but at least I should know, because no film is, it ticks all the boxes. There are people who might not like it. And why didn't you like it? What was that? You learn from that.
True, true. You come from a film family, of course. You have worked as an AD, very interestingly, before you became an actor.
Yes.
So I'm assuming that you did know the nitty-gritties of the industry, but tell me, once you started your journey as an actor, what was that one revelation that really amused you?
You know, I was not quintessential a filmy person. Like, I never wanted to be an actor.
Yeah.
Although my relatives were from the film industry. My grandmom also was an actress.
Yeah.
I never had this kind of fiery urge to be part of the industry and to be an actor. It just so happened, it was like an accident. I got into, of course, my uncle had a company and he offered me, and he said that, why don't you come and work with us? And then I ended up steering into this profession of being an actor, and I wanted to. But I think there was always this perception of how the industry works and the work that goes into making a film. I'll be honest, I didn't know it was this much work. I thought it was fairly easy.
Yeah.
When you see a film, you're kind of swayed in with the magic of cinema, and everything is great and this wonderful, everything's hunky-dory, good-looking people and locations and action scenes, whatever. You enjoy films for that, right? But then when I came on a film set, I'm like, this is really boring. Because I was an assistant. I was like, you're not that engaged, but you're an assistant director, right? Most of the work is done. And the first few, where you're being an apprentice, you're not delegated too much work. So you're just like trying to do odd jobs on a film set. And then you're studying things. I'm like, it takes so much to make a film. Like, you do a few shots in a day, and then you shoot a film over the course of so many days, and all adds up. But there's so much of work that goes into it. So that was one perception that was shattered.
Or anything that shocked you?
Shocked me? This is it, I guess.
Okay.
The politics of the industry. I was too young to understand that when I started off. I came in when I was 19 years old. And you're kind of immature, kind of innocent, you just come out of college.
Yeah.
But you realize that it's got a lot to do with, PR, and, there are people who are a little political in their stance. They play politics in the industry. There's a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Success is made up it's a little complicated thing. It's not as simple as you're a good actor and you get your success.
Absolutely.
There are a lot of other dimensions to it that have to play in, and
you had said in an interview a while back that, initially I was just working because of perks, fame, money, of course. And I can imagine that, I'm sure that's very seductive, for the lack of a better word. And please correct me if I'm wrong, I would like to think that this Emraan Hashmi 2.0 sort of began with Tigers. That one that you did?
I'm guessing, yeah.
What led to this metamorphosis, if I can?
I don't know if there's like 2.0, my concerns as an actor, as a person, started evolving and changing with age. I think it's a lot to do with a little of your, experience in the industry, your concerns changing, certain maturity, and just maturing, I guess, and your life experiences. I think your life experiences reflect in also the roles and, the kind of choices that you make on screen. So, my first 10 years of my career, yes, I was, it was a fruitful time where I had this image on screen and I was raking in that and I was benefiting from that. And films were success after success after success. It was all great. But then with that also comes with that, okay, it just feels like the same variation of the same character over and over again if you want to appease the audience. I'm like, I want to grow as an actor. I really want to do something where I can I'm passionate about acting right now. I want to learn something more about this craft. I can't keep doing the same thing. So some actors who could do the same variation throughout their career and make a livelihood out of that. But I'm like, I have more to offer.
Yeah.
Because I touched upon that in a few films. Like I did a film which was not very successful at that time, which was Awarapan.
I love
Awarapan. Which was, it wasn't successful, but now it's become one of the most successful film, because it's so surprising that what it didn't do in the subsequent weekends at box office, it's garnered so much of respect and eyeballs over the course of 20 years that it's become my most successful films. And that's also testament to the fact that films can succeed over a certain amount of time.
It aged well.
Yeah, they've aged well. So I touched something upon that was a performance, was a truth in the performance. And I'm like, I want to do performance-driven films.
Yeah.
And then all these films came. I was very grateful that people realized that, and they came with films like that, maybe Shanghai or Tigers, and a lot of other films that came my way where I could just like try my hand at different characters and play. Yes, some films were not that as successful. I'm not playing up to a particular image, but I was feeling satiated by the entire process of it. Everything is not a box office success. It might not be that successful. It ultimately will be successful, but at least it's giving you something. You're growing as an actor.
But Awarapan is my favorite Emraan Hashmi film.
For a lot of people, and for me also. That film's had something.
Great. No, but before we wrap up, we have to wrap this up. But Emraan, I just want to bring this up. A while back, there's this video that went viral where you and Mallika actually met and hugged it out. People were like, after 20 years, it took us 20 years to see this happening. What was it like? Please tell me. What was the chat like?
It was very warm. It was cordial. I saw her after a very long time. I don't think we had an encounter like that after. I met her a couple of times after the release of Murder. We were young, we were stupid at that time. I think we had, like I said, there's a phase in your life, right? Just your decision-making power is so limited at that time, and you're just so impulsive. Some things were said by her, some things were said by me, some mean and whatever. But then I think it's just bygones, and we've also kept that aside. It's been so long back.
Absolutely.
It was very nice seeing her and meeting her, and she was very warm. I also was.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you. Good luck for Showtime Part 2. Okay, so Emraan, we'll do a rapid fire with you. Okay, so the first one. Tell our audience the harshest truth about Bollywood.
That there are a lot of sharks in this industry. And sometimes can be a very brutal and unforgiving business.
What's the flip side of fame?
Anonymity.
Right. Okay. Your biggest professional regret?
My biggest professional regret is a film that I did way back. A film that I will not take the name right now because a lot of creative people are involved in that. But it was a film that, with the best of intentions, had a great script. Oh, it turned out to be this god-awful film that I couldn't even see it because the trailer itself was so cringe, and it was not what I signed up for.
Okay. A national award or an all-time blockbuster at the box office?
Both.
Best of both worlds. Okay. A co-actor you wish you could have worked again with?
Mallika Sherawat.
Lovely. Okay. The biggest misconception that you think people have about you?
I don't know if there's any misconception. I think people know me for who I am.
Yeah.
I think the misconception was way back before social media.
Okay.
There was this blurring the lines thing. They didn't know if the characters that I played, they thought I was like they're off screen. I think a little to do with my marriage and then things in public domain. I'm like, okay, he's not that bad a guy that we see him on screen. I played a lot of great characters.
Yes.
I think the people judging me was a very strong way of that they had judged me earlier.
Okay. I'm just going to show you 2 pictures and you have to tell us the story behind them.
Okay.
This one.
Oh, this was with SRK. This was in Yashraj, and this was when my book released. And he was very gracious and kind to kind of. I went to give it to him.
Yeah.
So give it to him.
And you had captioned this as a fan
moment. Yes, I think it was the same year, the year after Fan had released.
Okay.
So it was like
Okay, and then you went on to work. Sort of
with him in Bar of Blood. He was the producer, and we did a small little scene. Before promotions.
Such an old picture. Do you remember which set was this from?
This is a picture where I was an assistant director.
Yes,
this was in the film Kasoor.
Yes.
And I was given the job of writing the scene in Roman because Lisa Ray was in the film and she couldn't read Devanagari. So the Hindi dialogues, I was as an assistant given the job of writing it in Roman. in English because she couldn't phonetically, she would get the exact lines.
Right.
So I had to write it.
Yeah, last one.
Oh, this is for Vishesh's wedding in Udaipur.
Okay.
That was a nice pic. I think Bhatsap clicked this.
Lovely. It's a very beautiful picture.
Yeah, it's a nice one.
All right, great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I'm looking forward to what you bring to us next, even after Showtime.
Thank you. Hi, this is Emraan Hashmi and you're watching me on News 18.